to my weekly video, and again I'm afraid it's all about coronavirus. First, I just wanted to say a big thank you to all those constituents for their very kind words of warm wishes towards the Prime Minister and the good news that he's come out of hospital and is now recuperating, and I certainly hope he takes his time to recuperate and doesn't come back to work properly too early. Thank you also to all the continuing fantastic volunteering efforts going on and all the enormous amount of donations. It was really great last week to be able to take around a lot of Easter eggs to nurses, to pharmacists, to GPs and NHS staff, and some of our frontline workers such as the refuse collectors at Commerce Way in Lancing. And thank you to Coco the chocolate shop, and to Sainsbury's and other people who donated those, and to the Shore and Firm Focus who continue to provide ready meals for the staff at Worthing Hospital, which volunteers have been handing out every evening. Now, aside from answering lots of emails still coming in, we had a meeting of the Home Affairs Select Committee today remotely, and we tackled the really important issue about domestic violence and child abuse, which is one of the things which has been going up in the current lockdown. And so we had witnesses from Women's Refuges, from the NSPCC, Children's Commissioner and others. You can see that footage. It was broadcast, and later this week we're also producing a report about the response by the police to the coronavirus crisis, and some recommendations we're making there. By and large, I have to say, for all the criticism there has been, I think the police are doing a difficult job, and they're doing it well, and certainly I think in Sussex they've got the balance absolutely right. Now, of all the emails and social media posts I've been getting, we're getting fewer around people being stranded at home without being able to get essential supplies. I think the supermarkets are getting their act together, and of course the volunteers and the shopping schemes being run by the community hubs are working well. Still getting a lot of queries from businesses and people who are self-employed and employees about the various support measures. Really good news today that the Chancellor has decided to change the date for the furloughing scheme, so if you were in work on the 19th of March, then you can qualify. There was a big problem between people who were stuck between jobs rather than that qualifying date of the 28th of February. So there's been some flexibility there, and I hope the Chancellor will be able to show some flexibility on other gaps in the system where people who are self-employed but pay themselves in alternative forms of dividends and things haven't qualified. So some more changes I hope are still coming through, and I'll keep those changes posted on my website. And also we're still getting a number of emails from people stranded abroad. I'm glad to say several constituents are returning home at last from India on a flight tonight, and we've been liaising with them and their families too. This Friday I should be having a special conference call with a lot of care home providers across Sussex, and there are still real concerns about the level of PPE, the personal protection equipment, getting through to care homes and domiciliary workers. Really important that they have the full protection that they need in the really challenging job that they do. And so I've had a lot of discussions with the local NHS, with ministers and with the county council to make sure we have proper full coverage of all that vital equipment getting through to our care homes. And then next week on the 21st, Parliament is due to go back. I don't think we're going to go back physically, but there'll be some form of virtual Parliament. We need to hold the government to account about the emergency measures, and we need to get the finance bill through as well to make sure all the support measures from the Chancellor can come to fruition. So it's going to be an interesting sort of Parliament. I think it will be a sort of cavalier Parliament, because one thing we're all suffering from is not being able to go to a barber's and having a haircut. So it's quite interesting to see what my colleagues are going to be looking like this time next week. Anyway, thank you for everything everyone is doing. Thank you for staying at home, and by and large that is happening across the constituency. It's likely that this lockdown will have to continue for a while longer, but I think the vast majority of people know that it's in our best interests, know what they need to do, and are going to stay home, stay safe, protect our NHS and save lives.